On any given night, there's 53,000 people suffering from homelessness in the greater Los Angeles area.
Homeward LA is a project designed
to inspire the community to take more action.
I got a group of writers together, and we met with individuals who have experienced homelessness and identified stories from their lives, and then developed those stories as monologues.
Yeah, this is a spot I used to sleep in a couple years ago. It breaks your heart, you know, it breaks your soul. I don't want to die on the sidewalk.
There's a certain freedom in being vulnerable.
For years, I held on to this story, wouldn't tell nobody, so it's helping me to grow.
In our first 2 years, hundreds of actors shared these powerful stories with thousands of audience members, raising over $180,000 to help our unhoused neighbors through a nonprofit on Skid Row called the Midnight Mission.
Like, now I get to reunite with my kids. Now we can start healing, you know. Now I get to be a mother again.
Peace, family. Welcome to Homeward Live, presented by Homeward LA, a grassroots project committed to sharing stories from people who've been homeless to inspire the community to take action to end the homeless crisis. We strongly believe this starts with a shared vision of a world where all of our neighbors are housed. Now, it's happening right now. I need for you to click the link to this live stream and share with everyone you know right now. I'm Shaun Baker. It's my tremendous honor and pleasure to be your host every Thursday evening over the next 2 weeks for this very special Homeward Live event. You will hear powerful stories from individuals who've experienced homelessness, performed by great actors, followed by a candid, intimate conversation between the actor and the real person who lived the story. Now, Homeward LA would love for you to click the link in the description and leave your email address so that we can stay in touch with you and thank you properly for tuning in to tonight's event. Now, let's drop in. You know this beautiful, multi-talented, incredible actress from her work on Empire, Stolen by My Mother, the Kamaya Mobley story, and Evolve, which is love spelled backwards, to name a few. Please give a warm welcome to Miss Tyronda Jones as she shares a story of trying to create a joyful Christmas for her children while being unhoused, from Sinnetti.
I am a big Christmas person. When I say big, ooh, I take things to the next level. Seriously, I bleed red and green. Growing up, Christmas was a huge deal. My whole family would go to my grandmother's in Texas. And I remember me and my stepbrothers always trying to open the Christmas gifts or always trying to find them. And we would search every corner in the house. And still at 46, I still don't know where they hid them damn gifts. But on Christmas Day, the whole living room would be full. Whole room would be lit. We eat together as a family. It was so beautiful. To me, that was what Christmas was supposed to be. Until me, my son, my daughter, and my mother, we had no place to live. So Christmas was the last thing on my mind. I remember one year we lived in this rundown travel lodge. We didn't decorate, we didn't have a tree. I didn't have money for gifts. And to be honest, I just wanted the day to be here and gone. I had no idea what to do. So I did the best I can think of. I went to this nearby park to barbecue, just to get out the hotel, just to prepare a meal, just to forget about everything. Nobody was there but us. My son, he was too young to understand, but my daughter, especially my daughter, Lord, she understood. I didn't talk much and I couldn't look at her. It wasn't that she was disappointed, but she was confused and mad. She couldn't believe that this was their Christmas. And honestly, I couldn't believe it either. It was just a handful of years before she had one of the best Christmas. She was 5 and my son, he was a couple months old. And she wanted, I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but she wanted a my life-size Barbie. We drove everywhere looking for one, and I swear we couldn't find this damn doll. I think what screwed us up was that we wanted a black one. I don't think Jasmine would have cared either way, but we wanted something that looked like her. But every store we went to, it was white Barbie after white Barbie after white Barbie. And I'm like, what is happening here? Who was buying up all these black my life-size Barbie? I know it sure as hell ain't these white people here. But then after like the 5th store, her dad said, can we call and double check? So I did. And the guy on the phone said they had one left. And I begged them to hold it. I mean, I begged them. So we drove as fast as we could. We drove all the way from Oakland to Toys R Us in San Francisco. And finally, we got one. So the next morning, we decided it would be funny to hide the doll. And Jasmine, she was opening up her gifts. She was like, oh, I like this. Oh, this is nice. But I knew what she was thinking. She was thinking, where the hell is this damn doll y'all said y'all was gonna give me? And then she opened the last gift and she said, oh, is that it? And her dad said, what's wrong? She said, oh, nothing, with a silent pout. And she said, I just thought that was one last gift on my list. And we're like, oh, I'm sorry, sweetie. We couldn't find it. We couldn't get it. And she held it together for about half a second. But then she just bust out crying. And I gotta admit, it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. And then finally her dad, he pointed over in the corner. He said, what's that over there? And she ran, started ripping the gift open, and she freaked out. I swear she didn't play with nothing else we had bought her. She had took the dress off, because the doll was the same size as her, and she put it on. And the dress was pink and gold with a crown. And she started dancing around with this huge smile. It was so cute. But that day in the park, several years later, she wasn't smiling. She just stared at me like she hated me. And she said, why don't you make a phone call? She said, Daddy give you whatever you want. All you gotta do is ask him for money. Why are you putting us through this? Why are we living like this? That's what my 11-year-old told me. It hadn't been long since I moved my children away from their father, away from his abuse. Now, the physical abuse, it has stopped, but the emotional and verbal abuse, it just kept going on and on. And when somebody got you mentally, just about anything will pull down your self-esteem. As a mother, detaching myself from that relationship, that was my sacrifice. What would staying tell my children about me? So I stared my daughter in the face and I said, "You're a kid. You're a kid caught up in some adult stuff. I'm sorry we're homeless. And I'm sorry we're living like this. But I'm going to be better. I will. I'm going to be better." But the look on her face didn't change. She didn't know what I knew. But this was a promise I was going to keep.
Beautiful. Beautiful job, Tyranda. Tyranda, meet Sinnetti. Sinnetti. Thank you for joining us. Meet Tyranda Jones.
Hello.
Pleasure, Queen. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. You are amazing.
Oh, the pleasure is all mine. Trust me.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Did I do that? I'm so
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to tell us. You heard the story. You want to tell us why it's hitting you today. What really speaks to you?
It's been some years ago, but just remembering, and when I hear the story, I just always think of where we've come from and the relationship that me and my daughter has built up from that. It took her a while to understand, but she turned also into an amazing person. But when you're in it, it's so difficult, and not, thinking when you move from one place to another or you get out of a situation, you don't expect to get out of one situation that's bad for you and go into another situation and to have children and have to try to explain to them why are we living like this from this, even though it's for the betterment, it's to better you. It's still hard to explain that to them. And being homeless is very traumatic for an adult, and it's even more traumatic for a child, from going from their own room to living in a hotel. My daughter was older. My son was like, he's 5 years younger than my daughter. So for him, it was a game. It was fun. And we're in the park. My daughter's like, "We're cooking in the park. We're not having Christmas. I can't have my friends over." Just the change in life, and to go from that and to finally, go through the shelter and the transitional housing and get our own place. And I'm a homeowner now. I'm married. It's just, just thinking about how far God brought us, it's amazing, and it's just great. But it takes me back to the looks, to the feelings, to the emotions, and it's just like, wow, and we're blessed, and I'm grateful, and I like the story being out there so people who are in it will know, especially during this time also, that you can come through it. It is possible.
Right. Well, that's the show. Thank you, Sinnetti.
Right?
I'm sorry.
No. You don't have to be saying. No, I love it. It's really heartfelt and wonderful and beautiful. I want to acknowledge the writer who interviewed you and then wrote the story. Her name is Lindsay Villarreal.
Yes.
We want to acknowledge her. Sinnetti, what really speaks to you about Sinnetti's Tyranda, what speaks to you about Sinetti's story?
So in the beginning, when the monologue was first sent to me, when I read the first paragraph, I was like, oh my God, this is my life.
Wow.
My grandmother, because I was raised by my grandmother, I have 8 siblings, and me and my 8 siblings, we were raised by my grandmother. And every Christmas, when you said, you and your brothers will always try to look for the gifts, but never knew where they were hidden. I was that kid. We used to search my grandma's closet. I'm like, until this day, I still used to I try to figure out where did they hide these gifts.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I was 16 years old that Santa wasn't real. And it was only because, we had woke up in the middle of the night and we actually saw my grandmother setting up shop. And I was like, what? Are you serious? But even till this day, I still find that nostalgic moment in Christmas, because Christmas to my family is a huge deal as well.
Yes.
Tyranda, you're there you
I'm
go.
gone.
Okay, you're back now. You're with us.
What's going on? They don't want me to be great today.
We're all with you. We're with you. It's all right. We're having technical difficulties, but we're still here. It's all good.
Okay. It's one of those nostalgic moments where, those are one of those things where, because I'm very family oriented, and reading the very beginning of the monologue, it was just, I resonated very much to it because it was very similar to my life.
Right.
Again, you did a beautiful job, Tyranda.
Great. Amazing.
Thank you again for joining us, and just amazing job. I want to share the picture of your daughter, Jasmine. We have that picture of her in the dress.
Yeah.
She's so
she fitted perfectly.
She fitted perfectly. I had to dig through the archives to find that, but that was like one of the best. Yeah, it was crazy trying to find that doll. I was like, I need to have this doll. I need to have a black doll. And I was just like, what is going on? And we found it, and it was great. It was great. She couldn't wait to take that dress off the doll and put it up.
I love it.
She couldn't wait.
We're in the middle of a pandemic. Please tell me, how are you ladies holding up? Sinette, how are you holding up in the pandemic?
I'm okay. I actually had COVID about 4 weeks ago.
Okay. How are you doing now? I'm sorry to hear that.
A lot better. I had more cold symptoms and everything. The lingering symptoms is I still have headaches. I still have like lingering symptoms of headaches. Me and my husband had COVID, and it was, I tell people all the time, because people are like, you're not afraid to tell, but I'm not, because I want people to know, like, Black people do get COVID. We really do. This is not fake news. You really have to take care of yourself and just be aware of your surroundings. I was very careful. I did the mask, the gloves, but we work in a hospital. I mean, I work from home, but my husband is an essential worker, and he has to go to work every day, and we think he got it from work. And I had like cold symptoms, and I just thought, I have a cold, and then I lost my taste and my smell, and I was like, maybe I have COVID. And I went and got tested, that morning, and that evening they called me and told me I had COVID, and had my husband to go get tested the next day, and we both had COVID. So
wow.
I had a few nights that were rough with like shortness of breath and everything, but I'm paranoid. I work in the hospital. I should be better, but I'm like, I'm not going to the hospital. People die there. They go in and they don't come out.
Yeah.
So
I'm with you on that, Sinette.
Yeah. So I didn't go, but I did stay home and take care of myself. And I worked for a doctor, and she was really good about telling me what to do and things like that. And I literally did quarantine. I didn't sneak out and none of that. My daughter was amazing. She brought stuff, put it on the porch for me. She was great. She did. Like, it's weird because people are really scared, and I do understand that, because everybody's like, oh, just let us know what you need, we'll come by. No one came by. No one. But my daughter. She was like, what do you need, Mom? I don't want you trying to leave. I'll order food, have it delivered, Postmates, whatever you need. I'll leave it on the porch. And she did. She did.
Well, that's a testament to you being a great mom that your daughter wants to be connected to you like that. Tyronda, tell us how you are managing with the pandemic.
Well, I didn't get COVID.
Thank God for that.
Thank God.
I know. I've been doing a lot of self-reflective, you know. I had, when everything first started, I had been taking these online classes. I've been ordained, so I'm an ordained minister now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I've also I have my first aid psychology certificate, so I am a psychologist. And I started directing my first short film during the pandemic, but I've been very careful.
Good, yeah.
In quarantining and things like that. But I just finished directing and producing my first film. But other than that, I've been just, I don't know, I got to know me a little bit better, you know?
Amen. Amen. Sinnetti, can you share with us how you actually did become homeless?
Yes. I lived in Oakland. My mom decided she was going to move to LA. As she stated, I was in a abusive relationship with my children's father. After the physical abuse subsided, because it did subside, he was still verbally and mentally and emotionally abusive. And I decided I needed change. I needed a change. I didn't want to be a part of the merry-go-round that we were on. I wanted to get off of that. I wanted my daughter especially to see something different. And when my mom said, I'm moving to Los Angeles, we moved out of the house we were renting. I said, oh, I'm going with you. And I left and we came here, and I didn't realize like it was so difficult to like get a place, to save money. And, you know, and we started living in a hotel, and we lived in a hotel for 3 years. Wow. We had some nights, maybe a few nights where we slept in the car, and then I went to the transitional housing, and that's how I got on my feet. And I'm very grateful for it. I learned a lot. Like she said, I had a time to reflect, you know, because in my life, I thought people that become homeless are people who are lazy or on drugs or have addiction problems. And I realized like we're all literally one paycheck. Not all, but most people below poverty, we're one paycheck away from being homeless. And it just opened my eyes to a lot of things. And that's why now I always, whatever I can do to help, whatever, I try to do that, because I realize like I'm no different than someone who's addicted or someone who I claim is lazy or whatever. Anything can happen in your life and your whole life changes, you know, and it did. And it's even more difficult when you have children, because, you know, they rely on you to take care of them and be there and do the things that you're supposed to do as a parent. You're their protector, you're their provider. And when you're homeless, you're lacking that. It pulls all your self-esteem. It pulls all your self-worth. It pulls all that from you. You just, you know, but you have to try to find the strength, because, you know, you still have to look at these children every day and take care of them. You know, we had nights, me and my mama, we didn't eat so that they could eat. You have to make those sacrifices, and it's difficult. But I became homeless because we just couldn't find a place. We couldn't find a place, pay hotel fees, and save the money. That's what it was, trying to maneuver the finances. It just wasn't possible.
Well, Sinnetti, you are inspiration to many, many, many people.
Yes.
And we're so thankful that you allowed us to share your story again. Just amazing. I want to, you were talking about your children. We have some pictures of your children now. We'd love to share them. Tell us a little bit about those pictures.
That picture with me and Jasmine, we were at an event, a homeless event, as a matter of fact, with Smokey Robinson, where they were honoring him. And I did my story, and I brought Jasmine with me. I always bring her with me. And that's my son. He's 20. He'll be 21 in September. This was his first day of college, so we were dropping him off at college. This is Christopher. And these are my babies. I just got two, my big babies.
Man, always your babies, right?
Yes, always my babies.
So we're excited because we actually have Jasmine with us.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome, Jasmine.
Jasmine.
Jasmine, meet Tyronda Jones. You know,
Pleasure
you
to meet
of course.
Hi, so nice to meet you. You're so talented. You made me tear up once again. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, this
So
is
moving.
I feel I'm getting all.
Hello.
Well, welcome, Jasmine.
Is that me again?
Don't worry about it. We rolling along. We just, hey, listen, God's got us. We're not even worried about it, right?
Yeah.
So, Jasmine, I wanted to find out from
I
you.
can't hear.
Can you,
I can't hear.
Jasmine?
Yeah. Hi.
Yeah.
There
Okay.
it is. Okay.
Wanted to find out from you. Do you remember yourself in that dress?
Yes. So I remember opening the Barbie in the kitchen. That I remember that so vividly because I was so excited. And then I don't really remember putting on the dress, but I do remember standing on the bed and my mom telling me to take a picture. And I was so excited. And as you could tell, I didn't know how to pose because I don't even know what that was. But it's all good. What is that? But yes, very exciting time.
You look cute. You look cute.
Thank you.
Really beautiful. So what's going on in your life now? You're doing
Shaun, I can't hear you. I can hear Jasmine, but I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? All right, there we go. Jasmine, what's happening with you now? Share with us.
So I am I did my master's degree in 2018. I finished in 2018. I went to a school in Belgium and I studied a master's in cultural studies. And then now I am a curator of contemporary Black art. So I put together shows for Black artists, and a lot of my childhood and a lot of my background is about really showing how representation is so important for our culture and just for other young Black girls who want to see Barbies and want to see Black art in galleries. So that's what I've devoted my life to, and that's what I'm excited to do every day. So that's where I'm at.
Amen. I love it. Wonderful, wonderful. Tyronda, I read a quote. Can you hear me? Tyronda?
I can't hear Shaun. I don't know. I can hear Jasmine, but I can't hear you.
Okay. I don't know what's going on. We got technical difficulties. We're gonna be all right. We're gonna roll
so bad.
It's all good. Sinnetti, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Good. So what's happening in your life now? This is what I want to find out. Where do you draw your strength? How are you so resilient? Because I mean, you've been through so much. Where do you draw your strength?
I draw my strength through God.
Amen.
Through God, my children, my life. I went back to school and got my bachelor's degree also. Because I push education on my children so much, I decided, okay, you need to get your life together and go back to school, And even though I'm older, I still wanted to go back, and I want to go back for my master's, but I did go back to school. Me and my husband bought a home. I got married.
Congratulations.
But my strength literally comes from my kids. I want them to see better. I want them to do better. I want them to be better, and I definitely want them to pursue their dreams. But I'm always looking at, I say people of color, because I'm always encouraging people of color to go to school and stay focused and work hard on whatever it is you believe in. That's my thing. With my daughter, if she wants to jump, I tell her to jump. Believe in God, believe in your faith. I try not to, crush the dream. Like she said, I want to be a curator. And we know that not a lot of African Americans are able to do curating, And she went to school, or I was a little nervous about her going to school out the country, but she did it. And she did a good job. Actually brought me out the country for the first time in my life in my 40s, 46 years old. I went out the country, and but I draw my strength from God and my children. I really do.
Wonderful. Tyronda, can you hear me now? She still can't hear me. Can you hear Jasmine? Jasmine, say something to Tyronda, see if she can hear me.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you, but I can't
Okay.
hear anybody else.
Okay,
He
Jasmine.
said, "Do what now?"
To ask you if you could hear me.
Yes, you
So
want to relay a message to me.
I'm gonna have Jasmine be my co-host.
Co-host.
So Jasmine, I want you to ask Tyronda about her community activism. She does a lot with Black Lives Matter as well as feeding the homeless. So if you can ask her, the great works that she's doing right now.
Okay. Taronda, we wanted to know a little bit more about your activism in the community because we know that you do a lot. And we were hoping that you could expand upon that a little bit more and tell us everything.
Sure. Dang, I can't hear nobody.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, I can.
Okay, good.
So I've teamed up with an organization during the pandemic, especially. But before the pandemic, I've also worked with an organization called the Brady Campaign, who brings awareness and who also raise money to help, stop gun violence throughout the world. And this organization was very significant to me because I have a brother who was murdered back in 2014. So once I got my platform on Empire, which was in 2014, later on in 2014, I wanted to use my platform to kind of, get the word out and let everybody know. Because I'm from the city of Chicago, and we all know get a little rough out here. And then recently, I've teamed up with an organization called Social Change. Ty Bellacour, Saba Abdur, a couple of my colleagues who have been amazing. They provide groceries and PPE and things like that during the pandemic, because we all know, it's been a little rough. It's been a food desert for some people. So we've been giving out a lot of free produce to a lot of families who have been unfortunate during this time.
It's amazing.
And that's about it. Thank you.
Tell her thank you.
He says thank you.
So I want to commend all of you, ladies. You all are just warrior queen beauties, just incredible. And I'm so honored to be here to witness this wonderful night. 3 generations of beauty and just power and passion and love of God and love of family. So inspiring. Do you have any parting thoughts or for each other, or anything you want to say about, so let me ask you this. What would you tell young girls right now of color? What would you, how would you express to them? What words of encouragement would you give them if they're going through any kind of trauma or any kind of, setbacks in their life? What words of encouragement would you give them?
Really quick, Taronda, the question is, what words of encouragement would you give younger women of color right now? If you had anything or any advice to give, what would you say? That's the question that's on the table.
It's gonna get long, Shaun. I'll try to shorten it. No,
I'm here. I'm taking notes. I got a 14-year-old daughter, so I'm taking notes.
All your no's, because we get a lot of no's. We get a lot of doors shut in our faces, All your no's don't mean no, just mean not yet. It is so easy for us to want something so badly to where we lose our mind trying to get it, but just accept that no, because your not yet is coming. And then also, I live by 3 rules in life. And I always tell the young girls who I used to publicly speak for, 3 rules in life is lie, steal, and pimp. Meaning, lie down your own rules, steal.
There's one more.
Can you hear me, guys?
Okay, we got you back now.
Okay.
Lie down your own rules.
Meaning lie down your own rules, steal every opportunity that comes your way, and make this world your BITCH.
I love it.
Well said. Well said,
Well
Warrior Queen.
said.
Well said, Warrior
Well
Queen.
said.
Sinette?
For the young girls, I tell my daughter this all the time. Do not give up. Keep fighting. No matter, like she said, for every no you have, it's like she said, it's not yet. And like listening to her is just good for Jasmine, because Jasmine has dreams of having her own gallery. And she has her times where she's like, oh mom, this is, she gets stressed out, and I'll be like, it's okay, Jasmine, it's okay, Jasmine, this is going to work out. And take that jump, take that leap. It's okay, God got you. When you jump, he's going to catch you.
Right.
Don't give up. Just keep trying. That's what I tell my son that. I tell my daughter that. I tell all young people that. Do not give up. Just keep trying. If you fall, get back down, get up and keep going. If you fall again, get right back up. If you fall, just get up and keep going. You're going to make it.
Amen. Amen. Wonderful. Miss Jasmine, we're going to close with you.
I obviously don't have the experience that these two beautiful women have, but so far what I've learned is all of the difficult times and difficult experiences that you have in your life are the stepping stones into making your life even more greater and easier as time goes on. It was really, really rough, as my childhood was rough. And I when I hear my story and my mom's story over and over again, I think about all that pain that I had. And it took me a while to get through that. But to see what it set me up for and how strong it made me and how resilient it made me and the passion that I have, I prefer that. I prefer to have such a hard life in the beginning, because life has been so beautiful on this journey so far. And I really and truthfully believe that we're put on this earth to love and to have so much love. And if you can find a way to love through your pain and all of the other things that the world tells you, then you win every time. You win every single time. So I guess to young girls, I would say that if you're feeling any pain right now, just know that it's all worth it, and that love is like around the corner, and it's always in here if you just go inside and listen. So it's all going to be okay.
Wow. Well said. Just wonderful. Jasmine, you are a light and a gift from God. And just thank you and honor you. And thank you, Sinette. You're doing an amazing job. You've done an amazing job with your children. We haven't met Christopher, but I'm sure he's just as brilliant as Jasmine. This has been an amazing night. I'm so thankful again that you given us the opportunity to honor you with Homeward Live and Homeward LA. And I want to thank you, ladies, for joining us and being with us, and wish you all continued abundant blessings and great health from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. And love, 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 love. That's what it's all about. It's all about love. So blessings to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
We leaving?
Yeah. He wished us all abundance from the top of our head to our feet, and gave us all wishes of love, and said goodbye.
I'm so mad I can't hear nobody.
Hey, Tyranda, you did a fantastic job. We'll send you everything, and you'll hear it. And you'll say, "Oh, okay, he was talking about me a little something." But you're brilliant. We're so honored to have you with us, and you just did an amazing job. And thank you.
You did such a beautiful job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure meeting you guys too. Oh my
Nice
goodness,
meeting you too.
such an honor.
Thank you.
Stay healthy, ladies. Stay healthy.
Right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Wow, we had some technical difficulties, as you can see, family, but we got through it by the grace of God. What a beautiful, phenomenal, powerful night. So moving. And I'm just so honored to, as I said before, to have those women, those warrior queen women with us. What an incredible night. So thank you all for tuning in. I have to tell you that we'd love for you to follow us on social media at facebook.com/HomewardLA, on Instagram at Homeward Los Angeles, and on our website, www.homewardla.org. Leave your email address so that we can stay in touch with you and let you know about some wonderful events coming up, including a Homeward LA podcast, which you don't want to miss. We're really excited about it. Also, you can see previous episodes of Homeward Live on our YouTube channel at Homeward LA. Now, I have to tell you that all the stories, Sinnetti's story that you heard tonight, and all the stories that you hear on the series Homeward Live came from people who went through the Midnight Mission, an amazing organization, a nonprofit organization on Skid Row. They do just incredible work. Now, if Sinnetti's story and Tyranda and the light of Jasmine inspired you in any way, please donate, give to the Midnight Mission to help them with their efforts. No amount is too small or too large. So we were talking today about faith. That's really what it's all about. It's about drawing to your higher power, whatever you call your higher power. I think now more than ever, we need to do that. I feel like we're in a spiritual battle. I call him God. Take the time to fellowship. Take the time to tune in and connect with your higher power. My mother, my warrior queen mother, Glory Mary Baker, always told me, she gave me tremendous jewels, but she always said one thing that I'll never forget. She transitioned several years ago, but she'd say, let go and let God. Join us next Thursday, August 13th, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, for our final episode of this series of Homeward Live, where we welcome successful businessman, entrepreneur, motivational speaker, and award-winning author who's wrote the book, The Pursuit of Happyness, which inspired the film of the same name. Chris Gardner. I just had a moment where I blanked out. It happens. We're live. Chris Gardner is going to be with us. I'm so excited and pumped up. And we're going to hear from another remarkable man named Greg, who learned about ballroom dancing while he was in prison. Well, that's it, family. Take great care of yourself. Keep building. Keep climbing. Keep shining. We are Homeward LA. I'm Shaun Baker, your host. This is Homeward Live. Peace and good night.